our chairman, Brother C. Ferguson Ill. I want to give honors to his assistant, Brother S. Serrano Bay. I'm sorry, pardon more, L. Serrano Bay. I'm getting mixed up with C. Seals, L. Serrano Bay. I'm gonna give honors to our secretary, Sister J. Jordan Ill. I'm gonna give honors to her assistant, Brother I. Smith Bay. Smith Ill. I'm gonna give honors to the assistant treasurer, Brother K. Turner Bay. I'm gonna give honors to man, because when man honors man, he honors his father, God Allah. I'm gonna give honors to everyone on Zoom. I'm gonna give honors to Moors worldwide. I'd like to start off with reading the divine constitutions and bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheik and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheik is to assist the Grand Sheik in all affairs, if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And it is known for the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws. All members must obey the laws of the government, because being a Moorish American, you are part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and a partial of the said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the times of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel of all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And then you are entitled to the name faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look out for the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey fathers and mothers and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure in love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his father, God Allah. Pay attention now to the questionnaire and additional laws. The Grand Sheiks and governors and heads of all temples and all businesses, each temple must be approved by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali before acting upon any member.
My apologies. Wait, John, actually, let me go to the restroom.
I appreciate that. Each said temple must be approved by the prophet Noble Drew Ali before acting upon by any member, let it be finance, property, or any line of life that will cause the members to sacrifice finances, etc. Any former officer that violates these laws is subject to be removed from his office under heavy restriction, etc. by the prophet or the grand chief. Act 2. All members are to attend their adept meetings and their public meetings promptly. If a member is found standing around on their meeting period, he shall be fined 50 cents on the first case, and on the second, he will be fined $1, which will go in your emergency fund. If a member is working, his monthly dues must be paid. And if he has money in the bank, he must subscribe for as much as he is able to the Moorish Uplifting Fund, because it takes finance to uplift a nation. Act 3. It is lawful and divine duty of every good member, if he is able in finance, to aid me in saving the nation. If he does not, he is an enemy to the cause of uplifting his own people, and justice must catch you. Let it be he or she, according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as I have the power invested in my hands, and I have to enforce the law in order to save the nation. Act 4. All members, while making a public speech, must not use any assertion towards the American flag or speak violently against the church or any member in Portland Street, because we are to teach love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Act 5. All members must promptly attend their meetings and send their children to Sunday school, and the teacher must confirm himself to the questionnaire, and that every member exercises 5 senses who is able to do so, because out of the Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. Act 6. With us, members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and the divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, Black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all members now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All members must properly attend their meetings and become part and partial with all uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple. Then you are entitled to the name faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother, and be industrious, and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. And all Moorish Americans must keep their heart and minds pure of love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the guidance of his father, God Allah. I'd like to turn your attention to the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Circle 7, divinely prepared by the Noble Prophet Drew Ali, by guiding of his father, God Allah, to redeem man in the sinful and fallen stage of humanity back to the highest planes of life, which is with his father, God Allah. We'll take a read in chapter 4, chapter 3. Chapter 3, Eluhu's lessons, the unity of life. Again, Eluhu met his pupils in the sacred grove and said, no man live unto himself, but every living thing bound by cords to every other living thing. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will love and not demand love in return. They will not do to other men what they would not have other men do unto them. There are two selves, the higher self and the lower self. The higher self is human spirit clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah. The lower self, the carnal self, body of desires, is the reflection of the higher self, distorted by the murky ethers of the flesh. The lower self will pass away. The higher self is Allah in man and will not pass away. The higher self is the embodiment of truth. The lower self is truth reversed. So is falsehood manifest. The higher self is justice, mercy, love, and right. The lower self is what the higher self is not. The lower self breeds hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, and everything that harms. The higher self is the mother of virtues and the harmonies of life. The lower self is rich in promises and poor in blessedness and peace. It offers pleasure, joy, and satisfying gain, but gives unrest, misery, and death. It gives men apples that are lovely to the eye and pleasant to the smell, but their corners are full of bitterness and gall. If you would ask me what to study, I would say yourselves. And when you have well studied them, and then would ask me what to study next, I will reply, yourselves. He who knows well his lower self, who knows the illusions of the world, knows the things that pass away. And he who knows his higher self knows Allah, knows well the things that cannot pass away. Thrice blessed is the man who has made purity and love his very own. He has been ransomed from the perils of the lower self and is himself his higher self. With that, Moors, I'm going to say peace, and I'm going to turn the meeting over to our Sunday school instructor. Peace.
Hey,
R-N-L-A-N. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Just saying the word mean peace to me. Islam, Muslims, Islam. I for independence and for our salvation. And we orange Americans. ISLAN. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Just saying the word means peace to me. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Horrific fallen humanity. Noble duality. Open our minds and eyes to see the reason for unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America is where we learn the truth. The brothers and sisters should all be sure to bring the youth. ISLAN. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Just saying the word means peace to me. Islam, Muslims, Islam. Islam, Moorish American.
Islam.
Praise Allah. Islam to the Moors on Zoom, yo. All the Moors on Zoom. Let's see if we could do this. Just to see if we're trying to get this together. All the Moors on Zoom, you want to unmute yourself and say Islam so we know you're there?
Islam.
Sister Jordan.
Sister Jordan, Islam. Who else?
Islam, Brother Cyrus Hill.
With Cyrus Hill, Islam, Grand Chief. Who else?
Islam, Brother Kibbe.
Brother Kid Bay, Islam. Who else? All right, all right. Everybody on Zoom. Everyone on Zoom. We rise and give praise to Allah.
We rise and give praise to Allah,
Father of the universe.
the Father of the universe.
We honor the Prophet Noble Drew Ali
We give honor to Prophet
Honest
Noble
to Prophet Noble
Drew
Drew Ali
and everything pertaining to Islam.
and everything pertaining
and
to
everything
Islam.
pertaining to Islam.
Praise Allah. All right, we got you, Moors. Y'all can, we're going to stand by. We're going to give praise and honors in the temple together. Islam, Moors, y'all want to stand up with me? Islam.
Islam.
We rise and give praise to Allah. Rise and give praise to Allah. Father of the universe. Father of the universe. We give honor to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We give honor to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. The last prophet in these days. The last prophet in these days. The founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We give honor to Brother Marcus Garvey. We give honor to Brother Marcus Garvey. The harbinger to the prophet. The harbinger to the prophet. We give honor to our past Supreme Grand Advisors and moderators. We give honor to our past Supreme Grand Advisors and moderators. Brother C. Kirkman Bey. Brother C. Kirkman Bey. Brother F. Nelson Bey. Brother F. Nelson Bey. And Brother J. Blakely Bey. And Brother J. Blakely Bey. We give honor to our former Grand Sheik. We give honor to our former Grand Sheik. Brother R. Love Brother R. Love We give honor to our present Grand Sheik. We give honor to our present Grand Sheik. Brother R. Jones Bey. Brother R. Jones Bey. We give honor to all officials of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We give honor to all officials of the Moorish Science Temple of America. National, state, and local. National, state, and local. We give honor to the Grand Governor of the State of New York. We give honor to the Grand Governor of the State of New York. D. Clark Hill. Brother D. Clark Hill. And his assistant. Give honor to the officers of Temple number 34. Give honor to the officers of Temple number 34. And to our members. And to our members. We give honor to our two flags. We give honor to our two flags. To our charter. To our charter. To our divine constitution and bylaws. To our divine constitution and bylaws. Questionnaire and additional law. Questionnaire and additional law. We give honor to everything the prophet has brought. We give honor to everything the prophet has brought. For the uplifting and fallen humanity. For the uplifting and fallen humanity. Peace. Peace. Praise Allah. And the first question I got is, do we have the birthday brother? Is he available? He had, I know he had a lot of partying yesterday over there in Delaware. But his brother B. Jordan here, 12 years old. Is he available, Sister Jordan?
He'll be available. Just give him 3 minutes. Praise Allah.
All right, look for him. Look for him to be available. Islam was, who made you?
Allah.
Who is Allah?
Allah, Father of the universe.
Can we see him?
No.
Where's the nearest place we can meet him?
In the heart.
Who is Noble Drew Ali?
He is Allah's prophet.
What is a prophet?
A prophet is the thought of Allah manifested in the flesh.
What is the duty of a prophet?
To save nations from the wrath of Allah.
Brother Jordan, name one of the prophets of Allah.
Adam.
Adam, tell me something about Adam.
Adam was the first
Islam,
man
all right.
created. Oh, excuse me. Praise and honor is already given. Adam was the first man created.
Praise Allah. Brother Skipper Beck, give me a prophet of Allah. Jesus. Tell me something about him.
He came to save the Israelites and the iron and especially the Philistine nations of Europe who governed the portion of Palestine at the time.
Praise Allah. Brother Ani Beck, Islam, the prophet of Allah. Tell me something about Noah.
They saved people of the earth from their sins by bringing them in the ark.
Praise Allah.
Blood that was come to them.
All right. Brother K. Turner Beck, prophet of Allah.
Like a few, but I'm gonna talk right now about Lot.
Okay, tell me something about Lot.
Well, Lot was chosen to save his people from the wrath of Allah, Sodom, during Sodom and Gomorrah times.
Praise Allah. Sister Seals here, prophet of Allah.
Everybody went over the, Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Okay, tell me something about him.
He came to the Asiatics of North America, letting them know they were in black, Negro, African American, colored, or Ethiopian in between.
Okay, so Sister Jordan there seems like she wants to throw down some bars, or you want to spit. I don't know what they call it now, but we're gonna have to get some music behind that. All right, and that's the temp. When you see Brother Clendenin singing, I'm trying to sing. See, I would not volunteer for the choir or anything like that. I just listen to Luther Vandross, admire his voice. Brother Clark, he has a nice voice. Brother Ferguson, I'm not that guy. So if y'all don't help with the singing, that's what you're gonna get. Brother
Islam?
Clendenin. You see what I'm saying? Oh, you a singer, Sister Jordan?
No. Islam. I have Brother B. Jordan here though.
Brother B. Jordan, Islam.
Islam, praise to Allah, honor to the Prophet, and everything pertaining to Islam.
Islam, how you doing today?
Good.
You good? How old are you?
12 years old.
12, 1 and 2 add up to what?
Ask him to repeat if you didn't hear him.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
How much, you said you're 12, that's 1, 2 is 12, right? How much is 1 and 2?
3.
That's right, that's a trinity, that's a 3-year, bro. It's a year short of being a teenager. I send you something today, hopefully you get a chance to think about what I sent you, okay?
Okay.
Who made you?
Allah.
At what age did Jesus begin to teach?
At the age of 12.
All right. Tell me something that you could teach somebody. You're out there in school, society. What is something that the prophet gave you, or one of the prophets gave you, that you use in your life, or you could teach someone something? What could you teach someone at 12?
Why don't you tell them what you taught your cousin yesterday?
He didn't hear you. Your father just said something to you. He ran away.
Cousin Jayani yesterday.
What did you teach your cousin yesterday?
He doesn't know what you're talking about.
All right, how about this? How about you teach your little brother and your little sister how to listen to their mother and father by showing them how you do it? All right, brother, man, I'm not gonna hold you too long, but thank you so much, Mo. Have a great day. Praise Allah. All right.
Praise Allah.
What does it say on the charter? What does it say on the charter of the Moorish Science Temple America about the prophets, Brother Turnbull? About the prophets. We just talked about the different prophets. You mentioned Lot. We talked about Noah. There's a statement that the prophet made about prophets of Allah on the charter. You have any thought about, you have any remembrance about that?
I haven't really had an opportunity to study the charter or anything.
Okay, well, praise Allah. Just so
Not the
happened,
official charter, so.
I got you. Brother, I'm gonna take that out. You gotta say something?
I think it says, to promote and practice the teachings of all the prophets.
Yes. Says right here. Promote the bottom of this paragraph right here. To promote the practice and the teaching. Right down. That's the writing that's on the chart. I just printed it out. To promote the teachings and practices. This was a major thing for me. Because I was told that you can't bring all the religions together, therefore you couldn't use religion as a unifying force. Because the Christians saying, well, you gotta do what Jesus said, and then the Muslims are saying, if you don't do what Muhammad said, etc. And this was saying we promote the teachings and practices of all the prophets. So now listen, Buddha was a prophet of
India.
Allah,
Praise Allah.
right?
Praise Allah.
Lot was a prophet of Allah. Jesus was a prophet of Allah. Noah was a prophet of Allah. Prophet Noah was a prophet of Allah. All represent the same great God. So he's not going to teach you, have Brother Muhammad teach something different than Buddha's teaching and teach. Now, what kind of sense would that make? So it must be my misunderstanding or non-comprehension of them all together. So then when I saw that, I said, okay, this is what I have to do now. So when I go and I meet my Catholic, Christian, whatever situation, I promote the teachings and practices of Jesus. And they like, oh. And then I throw in something about Muhammad, they go, oh. You see what I'm saying? If you're speaking to someone about Muhammad, right? Assalamu alaikum, brother, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And then, yeah, you know, Muhammad came again and Prophet was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? But this way, it's kind of like, what do they call that person in the court, Sister Seals or whatever? I don't understand what the judge and the lawyer is saying, and you have to get me to understand it. So I have a person who translates.
Oh,
A translator, right?
yeah. All right.
So now you have a universal key to start the conversation. Because these teachings are for all those that love.
Jesus.
So your auntie loves,
Jesus.
right? So we want to think about that. So praise Allah. What is your nationality, class?
Moorish American.
Why are we Moorish American?
Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America.
For what purpose was the Moorish Science of America founded?
For the uplifting of fallen humanity.
For the uplifting of fallen humanity. All right, let's go to the Moorish literature. Do we have our Moorish literature? We have, I know I brought some Morris literatures out. We have some up here.
And if you're out,
Yeah,
there might be some up back here, so.
make sure the Morris have Morris literatures. I think I gave some out. How many people need it? They got some more?
So,
How did the Morris literature come about? Balani Bay. Morris literature. You know the history of this? All right, let's skip a bit.
No, no, not even that.
All right. Well, it's not a trick question, then. There's articles that appeared in the Morris Guide, proclamation statements by the prophet, like you see the warning in here, we read it every meeting. And Brother Lovio put it together because we read from last time I was here 2 weeks ago, we read from Humanities. Humanities was the same thing. The Moors put together some of the articles, proclamations of the prophets, and they put them together and they had it in a book called the Humanities Pamphlet. And they had it for many years. All right? And then Brother Lovio became the leader in what year? Brother Smithfield, Brother R. Lovio became the leader of the Moorish Science of America in what year?
The person I was already given. I'm not sure the year, but I would say in the 70s.
Not sure the year, but the 70s, Brother Serrano Bay, right out from the street. What year? It's on, praise the Lord, honor to the prophet, more. Like my twin brother. Younger brother. Brother Lovio, what year did he become the Grand Sheik of the Moorish Science of America? And incorrect. So we're gonna go over it again. We're gonna go over each one real quick, because you're writing it down in your notebook, or you're putting it in your pad, or your laptop, your memory, if you do that, right? So everyone knows the prophet passed in what year, Brother Turner? What year the prophet passed?
1929.
1929. Brother C. Curtin Bay, the first Supreme Grand Advisor, 1929 to when? Sister Lovely. Sister Seals here. Brother C. Curtin Bay, 1929 is the leader to when?
1929 until 1931, I wanna say.
No, let's think about it.
Wait, 35.
No, it's nice try. Brother Serrano Bay?
1929 to 1960.
No, but you got the 9. Good to remember the 9. 59.
59.
Remember the 9. 29, 59, 30 years. But Lovey used to always say I was the leader longer than Brother Curtin Bay, because he was 31 years. Okay. Yeah, or whatever. What does that mean? I don't know. But he mentioned it. 29, 59, 30 years. 29, 59, 29, 59, 29, 59. Sister Jordan Neal, Islam. Sister Brother Kid Bay.
Islam.
Islam, Brother Kid Bay, Brother C. Curtin Bay was the leader from what years?
That one I don't know, Granger.
Oh. Come on, Moors, Joel and Koran class.
Islam.
Right? 3 times.
29.
Who's gonna bail them out?
29 and 59, and Brother Loveville, Loveville went from to 1971, I believe, based on a 31-year math.
All right, 71 to 2002 for Loveville. All right, and then you had in the middle, you had Brother F. Nelson Bay, known as going down to Moorish Home number what? Moorish Home number 1 in Prince George. Moorish Home number 1, Prince George, what state? Virginia, okay? All right, what temple did Brother F. Nelson Bay come from? What temple? What Skipper Bay? F. Nelson Bay, history more. F. Nelson Bay, Second Supreme Grand Advisor and Moderator. Temple in Detroit, number 4. Very good, alternative. Number 4 in Detroit. And he had a background in agriculture. I think he might even had a degree in it. And so Brother Curtin Bay asked him to go down there with some Moors. All right, 1959 and 62. Both of these past Supreme Grand Advisors passed in office. All right, then we have Brother Blakely Bay, obviously from 62 to Brother Lovey of 71. The only first Supreme Grand Advisor and Moderator didn't pass an order was voted out. Well, not voted, but Lovey was voted in. You look at it different ways. Okay, voted out or wasn't voted in again. All right, so those are leadership. Brother Serrano Bay, it's on.
Islam, praise Allah. Got me thinking. I know Brother J. Blakely Bay was also from Temple number 4. Brother F. Nelson Bay is from Temple number 4.
Brother R. Love Ill is from Islam, praise the Lord. He opened the door, Morris. Brother R. Love Ill joined temple. I don't know when he joined the 50s, but what temple did he join when he joined? What state? Brother Love Ill. Brother R. Love Ill, Detroit policeman, I'm helping him out. Oh! So temple number 4 or 25? You tell me. We're guessing. Temple 25. Later on, moved to a temple that many of us, like Brother Skipper and myself, have on our nationality card. You see all the time, 43 inches, right? Mount Clemens, Michigan. What temple is that? Well, Ani Bay, Islam, more. Some Moors just came through the door, more. They rushed in the hallway, about 10 of them. Do you see? You're at the door, right? Is it possible for 10 Moors to rush through that door and rush past you? I didn't think so. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You got babies here. Got a sister here. All right? All right. Temple 43, Mount Clemens, Michigan. Who's the grand sheik there today? Sister Seals here. Temple 43. Gotta know your stuff.
Unless they better T.I. Israel is mom.
Well, listen, at least on the test, they have multiple to choose, right? You take a shot, right?
I know a lot of grand sheiks.
Brother Harris here.
Oh, H. Harris Hill?
No, that's Grand Governor Washington. Nice try.
So which Harris Hill is this? We gotta do better, Morris.
Well, you can always go to the temple. You could go to the temple locator. Or you Moors, I mean, you this brother here, he right on the computer Wi-Fi.
H hasn't been up
Come
there.
on, pull it up,
Brother
Brother Smithfield. Pull it up, temple locator, 1913.org. You right there, pull it up on our website, pull it up, temple locator. Anyway, we're back to the Moorish literature here. Let's go to page 20. No, let's go to page 18. Islam, Sister M. Serrano Bay. All right, come on. Then you answer this question for me first. Where's your turn?
I knew it was coming. She wasn't ready for that question.
You want to ask me questions? I got questions. Well, listen, let me press my hand, Islam. Okay, look at me. Look at me. The turban don't make the system. The system makes the turban. Okay? You make your turban. Don't define you. You define it. All right, turn around the Moors. You want to tell the Moors? Come back, come here, come back.
And next to Godfather
Come
was
here,
his son.
right here. Brother Jordan Neal,
Yes.
you have a question for the young sister? Give me a question.
Who made you?
Well, skip it back. Question for the young sister.
Who is the law?
Brother Ani Bay, question for the young sister. Who is Jesus? He was a prophet?
Get up.
Thank you. Brother Turner Bay, question for the young sister.
What is your nationality?
Sister Seals, a question for the young sister.
What do the 5 points represent? Yes, what do the points represent?
What do the 5 points represent? Love? Come on. Truth?
What's next?
Peace? Okay, Brother Smithfield, question for the young sister. Right here, Brother Smithfield, right over here.
Islam. Can you recite the Moorish American prayer? Okay.
Good, recite it for us. I don't hear nothing.
Stop again.
Is that how we do it with the twist? I don't know, let me try that. How we do it like this?
Which way do you face?
Which way do we face? East, this way?
Start the Moorish American prayer. How do you start it off? All rise and what?
Stop hamming it up. See, you're looking at yourself in the face. Stop. Look this way. That's why you're coming up here to be on TV? You like to be on TV? Okay, have a seat. Thank you so much. I see what's going on. I got, thank you. Yes. 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 Yes.
Praise Allah. Thank you, sister. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah. So now, brother. All right.
Me like that.
To the Moorish literature Moors. So this is a very important article. If you don't know the aspects of this article by now, and you've been in an organization for 2, 4, 5, 6 years, I don't know what the problem is. But I'm gonna make a point of it today. You should know this. If you're a sheep, you should know this. If you're a minister, you should recite this. Different things. You don't have to know by heart. You know the different sections of it, what's he's talking about. Remember, it's the Moorish leaders' historical.
Islam. Islam, Brother Ismail was muted.
Islam.
All right, we're talking about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, an historical message to America, page 18. This Moorish literature was put together by Brother R. Loviel, who served from, what year did Brother Loviel serve from? Brother Skipper Bay. Brother R. Loviel served from what year to what year?
You said 59?
I ain't saying nothing about 59, I said seal deal.
71.
2?
2001.
2.
2. How many years did we say? 31 years? Was it 31 years from Brother F. Nelson Day? Brother J. Blakely Day. I had to do it hard. So was it from 31 years from Brother J. Blakely Day? Or was it 31 years in succession? Now you said he ran longer than Brother Kirkman Day by 1 year, which was 17 years. Okay.
I got you. Thank you so
Praise
much.
Allah, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. So this way we can just refresh our memories, right? Or we could order to Centennial book, right? Blakely, Blackely.
Blackely.
L-Y.
No C.
Okay.
No, that'd be Blackley.
Okay.
These balls going, don't get them done.
So people was asking about the organization. All right? And I want you to read this first paragraph here with me. And just to share a vision, I shared it with one of our grand governors. He has a very powerful voice if you heard him speak. So just imagine this in the vision, if I want to add this. A round of air. Appreciate it. Let's say we're at the Schoenberg Center for Research in Harlem. We have an event about the Moorish science of America. Right? Turning Bay. You don't like the place?
Sorry, no, the inner mom peeked out. It says Brother Khalid Kidbey is on with me as well now. So when you were asking about the youth, Brother Kidbey followed the directions by putting the comment in the chat. And so I just thought that,
His son's on?
his son is on.
His son, Brother Kid Bay.
Islam.
His son, you have the young man with you?
Yes, I do.
Do we get faces? We don't get faces. We just get, I'll work with what I got.
Yeah.
Islam, Mo?
Islam.
Islam, brother Clendenin Bay. How you doing, Mo?
Good.
Good? How old are you?
10.
10. I saw you on the basketball game. You got any game? I saw you on the court. You got a little shot or something? You got a little move?
Yeah.
All right, you got to work on that. Who made you?
Allah.
And who is Allah?
Pop, help him out. Come on, don't leave him like that. You know, lean in close.
He knows he told him.
You know the
He's the
player.
father of the universe.
Father of universe.
And then you said 10 years old, right?
Mhm.
You said you're 10 years old?
Yeah.
Because I remember a show, I don't know if they'll call you smarter than a fifth grader, and you should be somewhere around fifth grade, right?
Yeah, I'm in for 5th grade.
Oh, you're in fifth grade? So to represent all the fifth graders in America, tell us what the universe is. Allah is the father of the universe. Tell us at a 10-year-old, what is the universe? Don't look at your father. Nah. You're 10 years old in fifth grade. What's the universe?
Think of the solar system.
Whoa.
the-
Whoa.
You can't leave out. Come on.
He's 10 years old.
Hold him out.
Come on. Tell us, what's the universe?
Oh,
A good
brother. Check the chat. Okay.
What's the universe, brother?
It's everything.
Praise Allah. See,
Oh,
all he had to go inside himself, and Allah gave him the answer. Thank you so much. Have a great day, Mo. Good to see you. Praise Allah. So this historical message to America. So I had this vision, right, in my mind. And in this vision, we're all gathered at the Schomburg. In my vision, we got tables in the back with nationality cards, membership applications. Brother Smithfield there, Sister Jordan there. We got a couple other more volunteering. Ready. People want to join. In the beginning of our presentation, lights are down low. And up on the stage, it's one of those things where they have like the lights on, which is like behind the curtain, and it's like a shadow. So you don't see anyone, you just see a shadow. But you can see the person got a fez on. And this person in the shadow with the fez on comes to the front of the podium. And this brother that got this beautiful voice says, in connection with the aims, objects, rules, and regulations of the Moorish Science Temple of America. And this brother got a nice deep bass voice. I deem it proper, like Marcus Garvey. Like, it's just one thing reading it, and you read it like when a poet writes their poem, they just don't read the words, they read it with feeling. And I loved him to the last of my days. With every breath I breathe. You see what I'm saying? So this brother would say this. He would go over these thoughts. It says here, I deem it proper to submit to you a brief statement of our organization, covering its inception, ride, and progress of the Mohammedan religion. I just say in my mind, it's just such a impactful. Now with digital things, we could probably have it on the side written so they could follow along what the words are. We could probably have a portrait of the prophet and Garvey, we could have sound. I'm just saying, whatever the Moors want to do, but I'm just saying in my mind, the presentation of a historical message 100 years later to America. Make me think about something 1928, 2028, 100 years. But I'm just saying, but in this, I hope it will be satisfactory to you, to the means of causing you at all times to adhere to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice in your relation with mankind in general. I further most anxiously hope this brief public policy, our statement, brief statement from the prophet, will help you to more clearly see the duty and wisdom of at all times upholding those fundamental principles which are desired for our civilization of our posterity. What's posterity? So Smithfield.
Islam. To my understanding, posterity has to deal with your lineage, your family, or
your children,
legacy.
your grandchildren, your posterity. So what do we want to do, Brother Turnabay? What is so important? What are the things that the prophet thinks is so important that, you know, these fundamental principles that Brother Kidbay wants to make sure his son knows, you want to know what your children know. What are these fundamental principles that we stand for here in the Moorish Science of America? All right? Obedience. That's the first thing he said. Obedience to law. What's the next thing he said? Respect. Loyalty to government.
It's no comma between,
Comma.
so that's respect and loyalty. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Mm-hmm. No, you're good. Thank you. Tolerance. And unity. Is that what you teach? When you're out there and you're talking about the Moorish Science Temple of America? Are these the fundamental principles that you ever adhere to? Obedience to law? That could be the law of the house, right? Brother Jordan? Right? Michaela understands that, right? Right? James, Brandon is 12. We definitely understand that, right? The law of the land, the law of the sea, right? Brother Turnabay, admiralty law, right? The law of the sea, the law of the land, the law of your organization, the rules and regulations of your co-op board, your condo. I mean, come on. At your job, right? Obedience. And the prophet says in the first convention that we will not have make any law that would be what? At variance. The state, the county, the government, right? Because we're in obedience to law. What does it say, talk about obedience to law in our divine constitution and bylaws? Brother Jordan. Act 1, 2. Brother Smithfield.
Act 4.
Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws. All members must obey the laws of the government. Because by being a Moorish American, following Prophet Noble Drew Ali, promoting the teachings and the practices of the Prophet, obedience to law, respect and loyalty to government, tolerance and unity. Go turn it back.
Okay, so it's one of my rise to give praises to Allah, honor to the Prophet. Like, we got the Constitution and Bible we just read, kind of have a lot of conflict, right? And there's a lot of differential of which government it's pertaining to, right? So, you know, it's an argument that it's pertaining to this government, the Moorish Science Temple of America, and not the United States of America. Now, I wonder why it would be specifically written out which government, you know, I would think, because certain other places it's separated and written out, right? And just like it says here, you know, respect and loyalty to government. It doesn't really, you know, specify which government, right? So the law is specific. You have to be, because then it can be interpreted by anybody's if it's not specific. If it's not specific, somebody could say, you know, oh, it means this, or no, it means that, which adds to confusion. And I don't think Noble Drew Ali is the author of confusion. So is it written, or did they rectify that anywhere to which government he was speaking to?
It's I never knew it was an issue. All the Moorish Americans, I heard a few people on the side who trying to say it's something else. The laws of the government of the United States government. This is the Moorish Science of America of America. All right? This is. I'm gonna go skip a bit because he had it said.
They're talking about this government. Because, on chapter 7, page 7 of the Moorish literature. It says, I the prophet, do hereby believe that through this administration of the government being more widely prepared by more genius citizens that believe in their free national constitution and laws. And through the help of such classes of citizens, I, the prophet, truly believe that my people will find the true and divine way of their forefathers and learn to stop serving cardinal customs and merely ideas, man, that have never did them any good, but just always harm them. So we're talking about this government and us finding our way through this government, but having our own traditional practices and teachings and religion and so on, because the government that we're dealing with at this present time is the same government, but the people aren't the same. So I would believe that more genius citizens had set this government up, but those genius citizens aren't here today.
Thank you. Praise the Lord. But turn about, you had your hand up?
Yeah, again, I don't want to take away from what you might have prepared too much on this topic either. But again, that was specific, brother, Stephen Bay, right? Again, it speaks to the administration of the government. Again, words are real serious. Now, that's why I want to know, like, is there something like people may say, right? To me, that's a custom if it's not specific, because it's the mention of the separation in the Constitution and bylaws, right? So I just wanted to be more specific. So, if you do have someone that know and understands that what you say legally is you have to be specific, because when you speak in the terms of law, every word has a definition, right? So if it can't be interpreted different ways, so it can't be argued. In this aspect, you can say he's speaking of the government, but it's not really because it's not specific. That's all I'm.
Well, praise the Lord. Just like in the same way, a person can't say it's talking about that because it's not specific.
Right.
So if I go to something specific and not just take a portion of the prophet's teachings and try to analyze just that one sentence or one thought, but look at what the prophet is doing as a whole, then I know better exactly what the prophet's saying. It might not be specific, but I have the understanding. That's what I'm going over here now. And let me just add on to this. I'll get right to you, man. Let me get on to this. Prophet makes pleas to the nation. So if you want to be specific, it is the great God Allah alone that guides the destiny of this divine and national movement. I know all true American citizens. Blank statement. Someone asked me, what does that mean? If I'm in Mexico, no, you're not an American citizen in Mexico, not in Colombia. Well, I'm in America, right? But the understanding here is an American citizen is someone that's a citizen in the USA. You want to say, well, it's America. Yeah, you can say that, but that's not the meaning. That's not the context. But go ahead. American citizens are identified by national descent names that answer and apply to the free national constitution of this free national republic of the United States of America. I think that's pretty specific there. Matter of fact, that's like the official name that most people don't even know is said. Look at where the prophet said, the free national republic of the United States of America. That's why I'm calling on all true national citizens to help me morally and financially in my great work I am doing to help this national government. All right, so now it's not specifically saying it, but I'm thinking, my understanding, my portion is that we're talking about the United States of America. He goes on to say, for without a free national name, with a descent flag of your forefathers, he's talking about the Moors, he's talking about the Moorish flag. There is not a national divine title of the government in which we live. So now, when I read this whole paragraph, and you can read the rest, am I to believe that, in on one hand, he's talking about the United States government, republic, and then in another sense, he's talking about the Moorish government, but we don't need our flag to make us, that doesn't make sense. It seems like they need our Moorish flag to make this government right. You see what I'm saying? So, but more, let me go some more in secretary time. I just want to get out this thought before we lose it, and we can get back to that thought. But let me get right back to the Moorish literature. All right, because I want to point out some things. All right. So we're talking about here an historical message to America. We're talking about some fundamental principles. I want to go over them again. What are these fundamental principles? Obedience to law, respect and loyalty to government. So whether I'm living in the United States government right now, the Moorish American, or I'm in a Moorish government 700 years ago, or I'm in the Egyptian government in Egypt, it's a principle that you have. That you're part of this state, you're part of this nation, you're part of this. And there's a relationship. Just like I was talking before about Confucius, it was so important. I was like, looking, why is Confucius? What's important about Confucius? And he put it on the National Archive. The more the Confucius said that, so I started looking at it. I started looking at it from the beginning. And Confucius was born, and it was a state of turmoil in China, 8 different nations. And they're fighting against each other. And I started thinking, yeah, all these different grand bodies, all these different nations we have fighting against each other. And he was trying to figure out a way how to bring them together. Grand Sheik always talked about that, bringing them together in unity. And so he reached back into a golden age of China when they didn't have all these wars. And he tried to see what was going on in that age that was keeping the people a certain way. And it was this understanding of relationships and respect for your family. The simple relationship between a teacher and a student. It was like these simple things, and he created these traditions and these rituals that they do up to this day. And in these rituals, that's why a Chinese person, if he's sitting there and you got a classroom with a teacher, professor, whatever, they would never think of talking back to them. They would never, matter of fact, it's a relationship almost you have like with a parent. And the same thing with your parent. You know what? You know when they have the Chinese New Year's, one thing I learned by doing the research, Chinese New Year's, everyone heard of that? During the Chinese New Year is when the most people on the planet move at one time. Because you got 1 billion people in one land that's trying to get home for Moorish New Year's to respect their ancestors. Factories shut down, people travel distances, they don't go to school. I mean, we just hear Chinese New Year. This is a big thing for them. And it's so big that you got 1 billion people moving around this country, the most people in the world at one time moving, trying to get to their places they got to get to respect their people. And so I read that, I was like, wow. So when you see, these are not just something I'm writing down. If inside of you, you do not have a fundamental feeling of obedience to law, that's not how it was. I was growing up in my neighborhood. There's no fundamental obedience to law. We was robbing and stealing. We was running into candy stores and doing all kind of stuff. You had that, Brother Skipper Bay, back in Queens. You remember, do we have a fundamental obedience to law? It's to the street. That's all. Go ahead, man. That's all.
Well, that fundamental obedience to law is true, but that law has to fit within your divine constitution.
Yeah, be just law.
And by
It
can't be,
I know.
it can't be contrary
Mm-hmm.
to the laws of the prophets.
There you go.
Because the law of the prophet is one law.
That's
The
it.
law of the prophets
Mhm.
is one law.
Mm-hmm.
That's to the one and true God and to his prophets and his divine law handed down by his prophets. There's only one law. Truth is but one. And that's what the prophets have brought, that one is divine truth. So if we're adhering to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, that law is in all religions. All religions. That's why you can say our religion is Islamism. because Islamism applies to all the religions. That's why you can say something about Buddha. You can say something about Muhammad. You can say something about Jesus. You can say something about any of the prophets that the scriptures talk about or speak about.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Tolerance, prophet said in a further part of one of his articles that he says tolerance is better than unwarranted opposition. Sylvia, you have your hand up? Yes, sir?
Of course,
Now,
yes,
get
we
back to
did.
Brother Smith.
For about 8 minutes, Grand Sheik.
8 minutes?
I just want you to let you know
Take
that
a
the
count.
prophet
Brother
also
Smithfield?
says that let
Do it
everything
8
but
minutes?
classified citizens.
How long was your
be
hand up?
So, because out from your Sunday school comes the guidance of the nation. No more circumscribing our questions, Grand Chief. Unfortunately, we have to express these things. Bonus pops.
I'm glad you had a minute to stretch. So
All
thank
right,
you so much. Next.
but just a thought, right? So, as you were speaking about, I think it's very important to note that, within the prophet's communication here, he also, a divine warning by the prophets for the nations. And I, the prophet, do hereby believe that this administration of the government being more wisely prepared by more genius citizens that believe in their free national constitution and laws, and through the help of such classes of citizens, I, the prophet, truly believe that my people will find the true and divine way of their forefathers and learn to stop serving carnal customs. So just tying back in against what was just said by with Brother Skipper Bay, and merely ideas of man that have never done them any good, but have always harmed them. So when you talk about that government, I think that we understand that concept within our divine constitution and bylaws, that we're still a part and partial. There may be some things that are permitted by the law that we have to understand that regardless of what, we still have to use the prophet and his measure of character against how we partake, not and within the government. But if we open a business, we still have to adhere to the laws. We still have to adhere to the things related to the church, LGBTQ, and all those other things.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
It's wrong.
And so it is, and just to remind them, this isn't like a sovereign government.
Not
It's
at
a
all.
Moorish nation.
That's right.
Our allegiance is to America,
What did you call it?
We're
A nation
more-
in what?
huh?
You said a nation in the.
The nation within the republic. All right, so you know, you don't wanna. For the tournament?
It's wrong. I think people get the word sovereign taken out of context, right? And because of certain actions, right? So, you know, when you dealing with the United States, it's set up for each man to be that way. That's just the way the government is set up. Now, we've chosen people to take that power and use it for us nationally, right? Now, you can't say what I think you're hitting on, but you gotta be specific, because you don't want to rub everybody the wrong way, right? We don't want to do that. You can't say that we're not sovereign, because every man is king of his own castle. Remember that precept here in America? So it's like, it's a lot of precepts I feel that we should be more so specified. So we have a specific understanding, so that we are not pushing away people that, you know, we could bring in because we don't know how to express it properly so they can comprehend, because, you know, they know when they're seeing, people know the truth. So it's not like you can't say, oh, what? Well, wait a minute, the law says this, but somebody else is saying this. So now that's more confusing. So that's what I'm gonna say.
But this language was had his hand for a while too.
Okay, we're gonna go to Brother Smithfield. Go to
I
Brother,
was really mad for Brother Sunday there.
okay, we're gonna go to Salamo Bay, and we got Brother Cyrus Hill, and we go to Brother Jordan. Brother Salamo Bay, Islam.
Islam, Muslims. Praise Allah, honors to our holy and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Oh, so I have some issues with this camera. Honors to all the Muslims in effect out there in the temple. Honors to all things that the Grand Sheikh and the chairman gave honors to. I want to give honors to the Muslims and that demonstration that was brought about by our brother, K. Turner Bay. You know, I'm not going to go into my personal, you know, feelings on the matter, but when the brother brought up that, you know, all law is specific, that's a right and exact that is definitely a right and exact precept. And I just wanted to point out that the prophet obviously understood that and was aware of that. So in Act 5, the prophet states, this organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government. So when the prophet puts said government in there, that in law lets you know that it refers to a previously referred to idea or thought within that same document. So the prophet did adhere to those lawful standards by defining the government as a said government that is referred to previously in that same said document. Islam, peace and love, Morris.
And I'll get right to verse. Get right to you, verse. Sorry, for 1 second. So just to understand what I was talking about, let's say take any, it's a land, man, island, or whatever, right? You have a nation on there. What I mean by a sovereign nation is that everyone in here can make their own laws, do whatever they want. They got an army, they got a government, they got everything. No one else, no other nation. They're not a part and parcel of, they're sovereign, they're by themselves. They have a standing army, a standing government, rule over a particular type of land. This is a portion of my understanding of it without going specific. So that's what I meant. I wasn't talking about an individual. What I mean by that is that you have many nations within this republic. The Moorish nation is one, the Cherokee nation is another, Seminoles, another nation, And so when I mentioned before, in the nationality laws of the United States of America, it was trying to understand this relationship between the brothers and sisters that came out of slavery and the so-called Native Americans, and all these treaties and everything happened because some of them, like I mentioned, was fighting with the Confederates, and they lost. So the treaty you had former is null and void. I can make up a new treaty. You fought me. So they made up new treaties. Some of this treaty series, if you see some of the former treaties that was before 1865 were null and void. They made up new treaties, and now in a better position to make the treaty in their favor. And now they have this group of people working within this republic. So out of the, say, 1890s, 1900, they had all these different laws on how a person can retain their culture and their identity and still exist here in the United States of America. And that's part of the 1928 Pan American Conference. Buspamani Code, I think it's called. But in this is why I said the prophet was representing the Moors, right? We had Secretary Hughes represent the United States, and some Indian chief or representative for Native American. So that's what I meant. I didn't mean to say like sovereignty is in the people. Yes, that's the concept. So, and you got to think about it, that's a new era of time. All right? Because we talked about that sovereignty being in the king, or in the sultan, or in the pharaoh. Right? But Brother Cyrus here, Brother Jordan, let's keep it, Brother Cyrus here.
Islam. More praise God is already given. I wanted to speak to this question. For the conversation, is the question about whether or not this ultimate way of viewing our participation in the U.S. government is what the prophet intended, under the radar, or directly or indirectly, or he wanted us to fully participate as American citizens, which is my take on it. And with that, I would say that when you read this particular article, in the Cecilia just read an excerpt from a divine warning by the prophet for the nations.
So more what page you're on?
It's the part she read was from page 7. It was the third paragraph in the left-hand column. You want to take into consideration, at any time I'm trying to decipher the meaning of what the prophet said in a chapter or in a charge, a mission. You got to take in the context of the whole statement. And I'm going to not go off on a tangent on context about, I was listening to a demonstration on the chapter of justice, or utilizing a certain word, like the word driving. Does driving mean an automobile, or does driving mean in a certain context cattle? Driving cattle, like leading people, leading things. It doesn't mean an automobile, it means leading things. And that context is very important to comprehend with the message. In navigation, thank you. In this particular chapter, when he's talking about principles all throughout, negative principles of our people. It starts off in the very beginning. It says, from the first statement, and it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional law of a free national government and cling to the names and principles that allude to slavery. He's talking about the principles that allude to slavery. Later on, all throughout the chapter, he's talking about the things he says in the third paragraph. He says, I need the support from all true American citizens of the United States to help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of government. And I'm depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate, and living according to love, to peace, freedom, and justice. Then in the statement after that, he talks about what it takes to be a true citizen. He said, if these Chinese, Japanese, the Greeks have to be a citizen by saying who they are, he's talking about us, we have to. And in his statement, this was the one that Brother Jeffrey Hill said that he's saying at the convention, the prophet said at the convention, because the president of the United States was president. So the prophet is basically barking at us. It's saying you have to do something too, which is tighten your bootstraps up. It ends after the paragraph that was read. He talks about, he said this most core statement. So my point is that this statement in here, the principle that he's talking about is not the principles of the Constitution and whether or not those are carnal. He's talking about our principles of how we carry ourselves. And I would say read the entire part of that last part where it says, he says, so I, the prophet, by hereby calling out a divine plea to all true American citizens to help me remove this great sin which has been committed and is being practiced by my people in the United States, etc. Read that part. That's a harsh criticism. He's talking about those carnal principles.
Yeah. Praise the Lord. Let's see, we got Brother Skipper Bay and Brother Jordan. Did I miss something? Oh, and then we're gonna go, I'll get right to you, but let me go to him for quick. Brother Surround me, I'm sorry, I didn't see you behind me. Where's the song?
I'll be really quick.
Mm-hmm.
There was a letter that was issued by Prophet Noah to Brother T. Crumbe during the time that Brother James Homax Bay was accused of embezzlement. And so there was a letter that was written by Prophet Noah, and I just want to read the last part. It says, when man fails after being placed head of the temple by the prophet of obeying our divine laws and constitutions, he is a traitor and enemy to the divine creed and unloyal to the national government of the United States of America, to which the movement is to make men and women better citizens.
Thank you, Brother Skipper Bay. Brother Jordan.
You know, I was gonna read this again because this is what I got out of this here. Where it talks about page 7, where it talks about I prophet thereby believe that this administration of the government being more widely prepared by more genius citizens. Those genius citizens, see, this administration of the government was prepared by more genius citizens. Citizens that came before them, right? Like predecessors, more genius citizens that believe in their free national constitution. See, this constitution ain't really new. It was handed down, handed down. Who prepared, and it talks about them being prepared by more genius citizens. Who are those genius citizens? Those genius citizens are us, our forefathers. We taught the ones that wrote up the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. We taught them. We are those genius citizens that the prophet is talking about. But those are these laws are the laws of our forefathers. And he's speaking about it right here. He ain't mentioned no names, but we had the government before the Europeans had the government. And when the Europeans came over, the fractions broke up, the different fractions, and to save our nation, we had to give this free order or document pertaining to all the different fractions that were here in America, so that one will not overpower the other. Peace.
Brothers, Jordan.
Now, I just wanted to quickly play Angel's Advocate.
Praise the Lord.
And I know where you get the term government, because a lot of people quote the Religious Corporation Act, and it says that we are about a body of politics, and that makes us, a government, quote unquote. But the prophet never emphatically said that we were a Moorish government. But he did say he'll teach us, everything we need to know to make to run a government. So, I know where that argument comes from, that he's talking about a government, because that's where, like, my old group, they used to talk about that too, like, he talking about this Moorish government. But I don't know where the prophet emphatically said that we have a Moorish government. He gave us our nationality, our divine plea, and making us better citizens to partake in his said government. But I don't know where he specifically said that this is a Moorish government. Peace.
Peace. All right,
You got a heart
So,
from
in
David's back.
case you wanna hear it.
Praise the Lord.
So this is the Moorish government. This is the government. That's why they have a pyramid on the back. Just like the brother said, more junior citizens. But see, now these junior citizens ended up in slavery, right? And you know how it happened? Same thing happened in Spain, same thing happened in Egypt, same thing happened. The rich Moors. See, them Moors converted to Catholicism and gave you up. You see what I'm saying? Those Moors told Columbus about America. You see, because it's all about the rich and the poor. It ain't about nationality. It's about people that are rich. So if you Arab and you rich, you're in a good spot today in the world. If you're European and you rich, or if you Japanese and you rich, if you rich, you go to the rich places. You see the other rich people. They don't go to the cruises we go on. They don't go to the hotels we go to. They go to the places where they go to. You know, so when they go there, you think they care? They don't care if you Arab, if you German, or you Japanese. They care if you got this money. And some of them got that old money. So yeah, why would a government that has all these different things still have a queen and king in England? What's that about? Well, how did they stay there? They're in power, but they're not in power. Then why are they there? Something's making them stay there. The House of Windsor. You know what I'm saying? But tying this into what I want to go to at the end of this chapter, the prophet says, the end of this article, Moorish Leaders, Historical Message of America. Does someone have a Moorish literature they want to lend this morning? All right. There's a part here. I'm on page number 21. I'm in the bottom of the left column. It says, read carefully the doctrines of the Moorish Science Temple America. What does the word doctrines mean? Brother Anibe, the doctrines. The doctrines, right? Brother Smith will help you out. What are the doctrines?
It's my understanding you say doctrines are practices.
Practices? Who's gonna Google it? Doctrines. Sister Sylvia.
That's fine. It's like pretty much like a set of customs, morals, things that you follow, usually through a religious organization.
Thank you. I'm gonna put down teaching just because I want to use one word. So sorry, Sim.
Doctrines are written words that actually end up making law or legislation, whether they're formal or informal, like the doctrine of discovery or the doctrine of the fruit of the forbidden tree, which is literal to the law.
So name one thing you could read to know about the doctrines of the MST. What could you read?
You read the Holy Quran, Moorish Science Temple of America,
Okay.
Quran America, the Bible.
Yep. Okay. What else could you read to know the doctrines of the MST of A? We read it every meeting. Let's skip a bit.
Divine Constitution and bylaws.
Divine Constitution and bylaws. What else can we read? Brother, turn it back. You can give it back to me now. The writing on the charter, right? Right? That's the doctrine. No. I can make you a copy. We got a brand new copy. You gotta talk to the assistant secretary and see if he can squeeze you in his schedule. Right? The charter, the doctrines, this article, the doctrines. Read carefully. Right? Read carefully. What does that mean, brother assistant chairman? What does it mean to read carefully? Just say read the doctrines, read carefully.
So analyze.
Analyze. Right? You want to understand, right? It contains our hopes. Hopes. Hopes, our aims. Rules and
Articles of religion.
article of religion. All right? So from, because you're reading it, right? You're reading it, right? So someone tell me one of the hopes. And I don't want you to say, where can I find it written? The hope. First of all, what is the hope? Wish to come true, right? Right? Hope for peace on earth, good will of men, right? Hope for your children, your family to be safe coming home, right? Hopes. Tell me something that's written that talks about the hopes of the Moorish Science of America. Brother Cyrus here.
Just did it at the beginning of the meeting, please.
What's that? Now, tell them more. Give me a statement, something that you hope for.
All loyalty to government, tolerance, and unity. Peace.
That's a hope. We hope the Moors will hear that, right? Don't we hope the Moors learn how to love instead of hate? What else?
Hope that they'll be better citizens.
Hope they'll be better citizens? You see what I'm saying? These are hopes, right? Hope, peace, brother Skipper Bay.
Hey.
Hope that this flag can make a national and divine title to the government in which we live. Hope that more genius citizens and that we would change our actions to be better citizens, right? There's a hope. Aims. Remember, when I first see that, I always think about one of my high school teachers. I don't know, they had a thing back in the day. You come in there, they got the aim for the class and everything, and the teacher's trying to accomplish this by the end of the class, and sometimes would be aims, sometimes be other headings, brother Cyrus.
Prophet said in the beginning of that statement, more historical, the divine one by the prophet of the nation, historical, more historical message to America. He said those are the aims, objects, and regulations. And he said he most anxiously hopes, I don't want to say anxiously, but he said he really hoped that we would follow those 4 things, which is the law, loyalty to government, tolerance, and unity.
Yes. So see, and the rules of articles of religion, right? He's asking us to read these things. He says here, every member should have a copy. That means Brother Sheik there wants to get a copy of what's written on the charter. He wants to have a copy, right? Because he read the article. He wants everything the prophet wrote that can help him, right, to do the right thing so that he can follow his hopes, his aims, and he understands his rules and articles of religion, right? So I think this is most important, all right? And I just want the Moors to think about this particular, this article here. Again, it says it's historical leaders message to America. All right. So again, Brother Clendenin Bay's hopes is that if I had a lot of money, you would know that on the 7th day of every month in the New York Times, Brother Clendenin Bay would take a full page out and print the article. If I had my way. It's a historical message to America that a lot of Americans do not have the message. They don't even know about the message. You know, and this is what I don't know if you know this. So you see what's going on in the world. I want to have a big discussion about it. But I know this because I've been driving Uber all over. And a lot of billboards been springing up lately with some people that got some money expressing their views on how things is going in the world, if you know what I'm saying. Because they have the money. So you can imagine if every day brothers and sisters went to the bus stop, and on the way to the bus stop and on the side of the grocery store was like, you're not black. You're a Moorish American. Come to the Moorish side, like everywhere, you know, that's how advertisement works. You know, you're watching the Knicks game. You're not a black man. Come to the Moorish side to America, 237, you know, like if you keep on having this, what did I tell the Moors before? If you got 10 members or 10 people come to the temple and 1 joins, that means if I want 10 members, I gotta reach 100 people. If I want 100 new members, I gotta reach 1,000 people. So I'm pretty sure if the message of the prophet got out to 100,000 people, 100,000 people learn about our hopes, our aims, our rules, our articles of religion, I'm pretty sure you have a nice amount of people that would join the temple. So I'm not even saying it'll be 100,000. But what if it was 1,000? I think that's like 1%. Just to see okay?
I just wanted to ask, while you were on that topic, great topic, I wanted to know, I know these articles were pulled from different places. Is there a way that we can possibly, I guess, get a qualified place of where they're from? Like I know some may have been taken out of maybe even the Voice of the Prophet, or was it the Voice of the Prophet, the Moorish God? It could have been taken out of Chicago Defender, but is there a way or something that maybe has already been done? I figured if it's already been compiled.
I have a way.
Yeah, no, it's already been compiled, so.
No. I have a way.
You gotta get Brother Serrano there, let's see.
Yeah,
The
because
prophets.
you ever seen one of them other Moorish groups and you get a booklet? And in their booklet, they actually have the Holy Quran, the questionary, Moorish literature and all that, like together. You seen that, right? You seen that about Turner Bay?
Oh, no, I just wanted
Yeah, we're almost out of time, but go ahead, real quick one.
so everybody understand, I just wanted to read the definition of government real quick.
Okay.
The governing body of a nation, state, or community. So we can understand that, it's long.
It's fine.
Praise Allah.
What's the answer? What's on?
Praise Allah.
Brother Serrano Bay gonna get that information out for them?
Well, Serrano Bay is gonna put together our rules and articles of religion with our hopes and our hands. We're gonna get a new pamphlet. Brother
We
Serrano
need
Bay.
some Moorish New Year more.
Yeah, more. This is what we need more.
Praise
We
Allah.
need a listing of all of this
Oh,
and where we can find it.
oh, wait.
And then we'll put together a little Temple 34 pamphlet. It could be part of your project of, because from out of that, you have your, your statement, your public statement or whatever. So let's say if we can get that together, make a little pamphlet. Well, where do you talk about that? Right there, see, in Charlie, right there, Divine Constitution Model. The article, editorial from the prophet. Right? But we're out of time. Right, Secretary time? Got the assistant chairman here. Everybody's okay? Milani Bay. I just saw like 5 people run right past you. Praise a lot more. Listen, I appreciate the more taking out of your day to come and learn about these teachings. Because these hopes and these aims and these rules of articles of religion we have for our people. That's why we're here. Most of us is here. Individually, you can take these things like the prophet says. I've taught you enough. Save a nation. Take and go save yourself. But you had the love in your heart that you didn't just want to save you and your family. You wanted to save your neighbors and your friends and your family. You wanted to save this nation. Some of you might even have aspirations on an international level. That's one of our hopes. That's one of our aims. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice being taught universally in all languages, right? So praise Allah. Thank you so much, Brother Assistant Chairman, if you don't mind, and lead the end for the minutes. Peace, folks. Peace. Come and go with me to my Father's house. Awesome. To my Father's house. Awesome. To my Father's house. Come and go with me to my Father's house. There is peace, peace, peace. They all love over there in my Father's house. Awesome. In my Father's house. Awesome. In my Father's house. They all love over there in my Father's house. There is peace, peace, peace. Islam.
Islam.
January 15, 1929, Prophet warns all Muslims governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We offer peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We offer love, truth, peace, and freedom. And when these principles are violated, justice then must take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by the prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, button, cease wearing their turban or fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sins by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Peace. Praise Allah. So I'd like to welcome you all to Secretary Time. We just reached Secretary Tom, if we could pass the collection. Islam Sister M. Serrano Bay. Islam Sister Mufti, would you like to come take up the collection?
Yeah. Come on, just raise your hand. I know what's wrong.
Islam, Sister Secretary, Sister J. Jordan.
Islam Sister Secretary, Sister J. Jordan Hill. You have any announcements?
Thank you, Sister.
Islam. Islam. Excuse me. I have a few announcements. Praise Allah. So the upcoming announcements that I have. Yesterday we celebrated the Sisters Auxiliary 95th anniversary.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Islam,
And
can you
we
say
were able to,
Secretary?
hold on, let me see if this is better. Islam. Islam. Yesterday we celebrated the 95th anniversary of the Sisters Auxiliary. And you can view the celebration. It was done virtually. You can view it on the national Facebook page. And you can also find links to it on our temple Facebook page as well. The upcoming announcements that I have include a Sheikh training. We'll be having it on Wednesday, December 20th. That's this week coming up. If you're interested in attending the Sheikh training, please let one of the Sheikhs know, and we'll make sure to post the Zoom information in the chat. The Sheikh training is for members, it's for active members. So please be sure to reach out to any one of the Sheikhs or the Grand Sheikh, the chairman, if you have any follow-up questions. The Prophet's birthday celebration this year will be held on Monday. It's a Monday. It's held on January 8th, 2024. It will be held at Temple 21 in Brooklyn. And I spoke with Sister B. Williams-Eel. They are just getting together to start planning. And so she's going to be sure to let me know when I can participate in helping with the planning from the Sisters Auxiliary viewpoint. So I'll let you know when we can reach out and what they're going to need. So if you guys can mark your calendars for January 8th, that's a Monday for the Prophet's birthday celebration at Temple 21. Just a reminder that our Holy Day meeting is held on Fridays starting at 7:30 p.m. It goes to 10 p.m. If you're unable to make your meeting in person, the Zoom is available. We also have Sunday school held on Sundays from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. Again, if you're not able to make your meeting in person, the Zoom option is available. Just a friendly reminder that if you are interested in the Sheikh training and you're an active member and you can't make your meeting in person, you may want to send a little message to any Sheikh or Grand Sheikh, the chairman, or you can just shoot an email to MSTA secretary34@gmail.com to let us know that you can't make it. If you want to make an announcement that you'd like to be given during secretary time, please let us know and we can make it for you, or you can raise your hand and give the announcement if you have it. And if you'd like to make or pay your dues, you can do so in person during those times that I mentioned earlier, or on Cash App. It's $MSTA34. That's $MSTA34. If there are any questions that you might have, please let us know. You can also reach the temple's email, and our temple's email is moorichsciencetemple no.34@gmail.com. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of the sheiks. And this is the perfect time to raise any questions that you might have today for Sunday school. With that, I say peace.
Please, praise the Lord. Thank you so much.
That's right.
So as our sister stated, we have our sheik training. Those who are interested in learning about it, you can reach out to our Grand Sheik after the meeting. If you're here in person, if you're online, you can send the email to our temple email. Just to reiterate, Prophet Nabutuali's birthday is on a Monday, January 8th, temple number 21. Does anyone else have any?
Yeah.
Islam, Brother Kid Bay is it.
He was looking for the prices on Morris Remedy.
Islam, Islam, Brother Kid Bay.
Islam.
Islam. I'll do a reading and I can also put into the chat for the prices of the Prophet's remedies.
Islam.
Islam. The bath compound, the Morse antiseptic bath compound is $12. The Morse bodybuilder and purifier is $12. And the Morse mineral and healing oil is $15. I say peace.
Praise the Lord.
Islam, thank you.
Sister C. Silva.
That's fine, recognize they're given. I'm just gonna tell the boys to check out the National Sisters Auxiliary virtual soul train line. I think brother Fire, so it's not brother Great Chief, if you would put in my, giving the more, give a little bit of info. We put a great we were part of putting a great video view together. I'm not gonna downplay it by giving any more info.
Praise Allah. Thank you, Sister Silsdale. Sister Silsdale was just mentioning it. It's on our Facebook page. I think Sister Silsdale said they placed it on the TEMPLE34 Facebook page, as well as it's in the National More Science of America Inc. Facebook page. There's already a bunch of posts above it, but if you look in the videos, I think it's there. Maybe it's pinned. But the Sisters Auxiliary, Morris National Sisters Auxiliary celebrated 95 years, their 95-year anniversary, which they do once a year, which is a beautiful demonstration because the Sisters Auxiliary is the auxiliary where the sisters come together and they have their own separate leadership. And it's a very, very strong demonstration. And of course, we have a lively and long history of having our Sisters Auxiliary active here at TEMPLE34. So there are a lot of memories without memory lane. And just briefly, I was member, I think our first chairman of the Sisters Auxiliary that I remember was Sister German Bay. Then I remember it was passed next to Sister Passmore. It was one of the first times I saw a chairman that wasn't a Grand Speakers. Sister Passmore famously, she did a lot of things, a lot of fundraising. She actually raised funds to purchase the Prophet's chair, picked the Prophet's chair, and purchased it. So Sister Passmore was in there. Sister Passmore actually left our grand body. She got married to her brother H. Sean Bay, who's a member of Branch Temple number 11, Syracuse. And we ended up leaving the grand body and took my sister out of our grand body, but we still honor her because she left her legacy here at TEMPLE34. After her, I think Sister Draynell took Sister Benton, was she there for a little while? So she must have been before Sister Passmore or after. I'm trying to remember. Oh, you were before Sister Daniel. I thought it was Daniel Silver. It was Silver. Look, Sister Silver was the chairman. I was getting there.
You got it.
And then Sister Draynell. And then Sister G. Draynell. For those that don't know, Sister Draynell hasn't been in the temple for a long time. But Sister G. Draynell, if you do know that name rings a bell, she's from TEMPLE34. And she transferred to TEMPLE54. Then we had Sister L. Berry Bay, who served for a very long time, and she was the chairman of the Mormon Sisters Auxiliary TEMPLE34 before Sister J. Jordaniel, who is now our current chairman. I think is on her 3rd or 4th year as the chairman of Brooklyn TEMPLE34. So all of that came together on this program, and it was actually a lot of work. They actually asked us to be involved. a few weeks ago, but it came off really good. Came off very well. So yeah, if you get a chance, you can view that on Facebook. Peace.
Peace, praise the Lord. Just really quickly, I want to give some commentary. I think but Wasar did a wonderful job putting everything together, the videos, everything, the way that the train was even moving, the graphics, and you could see the different faces and the pauses. As far as the theme of the love train or the Morris train, right? I think it was a beautiful thing. And also giving life to legacy members, which to me is extremely important, especially in more science of America. Whether you're a new member or you've been here for a while, and I think a lot of times, we as members in our local temples, we kind of get tunnel vision as far as what's going on in other temples and how much accomplishments other brothers and sisters may have contributed to the organization, and as far as the legacy that their parents, or their grandparents, and so on and so forth may have left behind. And I think, when we think about this organization, More Science of America Incorporated, I think there's those who are around the More Science of America don't truly consider, and even us in the organization don't truly consider that those who walk with the prophet, their children are still here with us, still participate with us, still make their meetings today. You might have a conversation with a brother or sister and don't even know that their great grandparent made the prophet's bed or make the prophet's tea or something. There's something with the prophet and they're still here. So I'm gonna call my brother Ani Bey, and then just he feels it. And then you ready?
You're right.
Yes, sir. It's 2 p.m. Praise the Lord. Thank you, sir.
That's fine. I think Brother Smithfield and myself were pointing out the thing with Sister Jordan. I'm just gonna also say, I just wanted to give the Sarcel the same opportunity to be able to communicate. But just to repeat again, that same concept of sisterhood, right? Sisters also. So the sister was burning the midnight oil, I'm pretty certain, and that concept of having to condense everything, gather, make it look as beautiful as it did, adjusting, adding in those fine details, the things that, picking up, I don't know, 1,000 grains of rice isn't complicated, but it's very tedious. You know what I'm saying? So that concept of her having to go through that process, and it was still her son's birthday. And so I just wanted to give those the extra thought, because I'm sure it took a lot of focus and time to be able to put into it and dividing of oneself. So I just thought that was also a great concept of the understanding of also sisterhood, sisters auxiliary. Could you imagine what it looked like when they had to prepare for the prophet? Could you imagine that mad dash and run, making sure everything was there, what he needed to eat, what he needed here, the bedding, an extra set of bedding, the towels, the soap, the lotions, the whatever, just all of those things to securing and making sure someone's okay. So Sister Jordan, you'll have to handle.
Islam, I'm gonna go to Brother Vasa, Sister Jordan now, and then
I'll proceed to the chairman, and I wanted to ask someone.
praise the Lord. Islam, Sister J. Jordan now, Chairman.
Islam. I just wanted to thank you all so much. I want to thank you, Sister Seal, for all your assistance. I want to thank my family because they, like you mentioned, they had to be patient with me, and so I appreciate that. I just wanted to also announce or kind of just let the Moors know, Grand Sheik will be speaking, I believe, Friday, our holy day. He's going to be on the national platform coming up, and so I'll post more information about it, just a heads up. It's going to be a little tricky, but nothing we haven't done before, where we tune in on a national platform for the first portion, and then we tune into our Zoom for the second portion. But we'll definitely walk through it, and it'll be smooth. So just wanted to put that out on your radar. With that, I say peace.
Peace, praise the Lord. So our Grand Sheik is gonna be speaking on Friday, so we should be attentive and be aware, so we can all tune in on national call. Brother Cyrus.
Islam. And I just adding on that last part in terms of the program.
It's on Friday.
Two Fridays. Sorry.
This week, not this week, next week, more.
Praise Allah.
So when you watch the program, you'll notice that for once, it's still the hit on the head. It's always a tremendous amount of work getting together for the prophet's birthday or any program. I don't know why we always start stuff at the last minute. You know, we didn't have much time, so like we were down to the last minute trying to make adjustments. And then when you do it that way, there's all these little glitches. There were a couple of slides that were missed. But we were like 99% there. When you watch the program, there's a little hitch in the beginning. Where I'm not sure how it happened. I don't know if I was supposed to be introduced prior, or I didn't get introduced, or it seemed like Sister Johnson Day was waiting on something, and it caused a little train pile up. You know, I was joking, I was to myself afterwards, like train left out, and I had to run and catch up and jump back onto the train. I was supposed to be conducting it. And Sister Foster Ill had a portion where she kind of got caught in the pinch of that. And when you watch it, actually, it was kind of awkward going through it in the moment of to backstory of that, and wanted to know that she was somehow she was coming late. Somebody probably brought her late to 71, so she had just entered the room. And she's telling them, well, hang on, I'm almost there. And they put the camera on her. And when it was happening, I felt a little bad, but when I watched it afterwards, I realized that, and I called her this morning before she went to Temple to let her know, I don't know if you realize that you got put into a little test. And what she demonstrated was a really touching demonstration of strength and composure. Because you can see she like they cut the camera on and she's trying to figure out where am I even supposed to be standing at. And then she kind of goes into this little pace and then she makes a slip. She made a 40-minute slip. She called herself the Grand National Chairman. And then she corrected herself. But the way she realized it and she stopped and she says, you know, she basically said, hey, I'm nervous. Like, I'm nervous. And then she kind of said something, makes a joke of it immediately. Like without having this time to think about or prepare anything, she said, sometimes we just gotta have a little humor. It was the perfect thing to say. And then if you watch her, she's gathering herself up after that. She's recomposing herself, which is what the more divine national movement is about, which is very powerful to see. So I wanted to mention that so when the boys are watching, you know, it's kind of a little bit of backstory on how that happened. But how I looked at it, it was like I actually like watching that now because it's like, look at this system. You know, the way she did it. Praise Allah, peace, more.
Peace, praise Allah. I wanna Islam, brother Olani, guys. Islam, you getting ready to go? No, I'm not. Okay, all right. Just to share something really quickly, in the spirit of Sisters Auxiliary. We have Sister M. Whitehead Eel, who is also known as Sister M. Lovett Bay, who was Prophet Noble Ali's aunt-in-law. And she is one of the first sisters. Lovett Eel, also known as Sister Whitehead Bay. And our sister was the first woman to be the head of any Islamic, and not just in America, but in the world. You know, and I think sometimes we don't consider those things. And, you know, I was thinking about even Sister Pearl Drew Ali, the Prophet's wife, and I wanted to ask Grand Sheikh, Brother W. Clendenin Bay, who, if I'm not mistaken, was able to meet the Prophet's wife, and I wanted to see if our Grand Sheikh would be able to come up here, and which it doesn't look like he can't even hear me.
You open it, catch some air.
Praise Allah.
Yeah, warm in here.
Islam, yes, I wanted to know if you could share anything with us. Well, first you could correct me if I'm wrong. If you met the Prophet's wife,
I don't think.
and if you have, is there anything that you can share with us, Sister Pearl Juali?
That's all. So, thank you. So praise Allah, Lord. Praise Allah. You know, I got different thoughts about that. You know, obviously when I was younger, oh, you get to meet the Prophet's wife. She came to a meeting. We was at the convention. She came to the meeting. She didn't come to all the meetings. I didn't see her active in the organization. But she's the Prophet's wife. Like Brother G. Cook Bay, they talk to the Prophet. You know, I respect all of the brothers and sisters, the Prophet's wife, whoever made his bed, made his room. But the Prophet himself is going to tell you it's not about him. It's not about Brother G. Cook Bay, not about the Prophet's wife, not about Muhammad. It's about the way. It's about the path. Because the prophet said exactly, because if you're not careful, they're gonna make a shrine out of my grave where I was born. You know how people do. So yeah, it was a privilege. But what other than saying I met the prophet's wife? Okay, praise Allah.
They change slideshows.
But I think the important thing is give honor to the prophet, give honor to all the masters. But it's the teaching. Remember, Allah used them as a vehicle to speak to you. You know, I had this young man in Baltimore. He was like searching for something. And all I did is say when he got out the car, he said something about God. I said, God speaks to man through man. And he was just like, and so that's very important. So give honor to the prophet's wife, give honor to all the Moors, give honor to all Moors in the past. And that's why when I hear brothers and sisters talk about Kirkman Bay and Mealy Eel and what? It was just a brother like you. A sister like you. They had their ups, they had their downs. So praise Allah for it. And I the Moors get caught up on who your grand sheik is, who the leader is. It's about the message. When we focus on the message, we're gonna lose all that. Now remember, all of that stuff that we're talking about, believe it or not, has to do with vanity. In some kind of level. That's why Prophet Muhammad said, give a donation, don't even put your name on it. It's not to come and see the brother Clendenin wing of the hospital. Well, what's that part about my name? It's a donation. You're doing it. So that to me is understandable. Because I hear them all the time, you know, and they're like, and I got in trouble once. I think Cyrus Hill might have been on the phone. There's a chapter, if you go unto thee I grant, book by the Rosicrucians, there's a chapter on there called True Honor. And it talks about how that young man, like, my father's the king, and my father did this. What does that have to do with you? That has to do with that whole sovereignty. My father's the king, I'm the king. No, we're not doing that no more. We're not doing that because you get honor from what someone else did that you didn't do. You're not giving the sovereignty to someone else. You got your sovereignty, and you got to answer for what you do. Honor to your father, and honor to your mother, and honor to all those people around you. But it's what you have to do is the true honor. You know, and how you truly honor the prophet's wife and truly honor the prophet. As Brother Booker Bay used to always say, we went to, you know, he's a former Grand National Chairman. So we went to his bedside, he's passing away, and everyone was like, what about this woman? That was, well, Amelia was a good woman. She wasn't the prophet. What about this sister? That was a good sister, but she wasn't the prophet. What about that? Like, they all good. But they wasn't the prophet. And the prophet said, oh, the prophet is not about me. Now, I know it's hard to think about that. It's hard for me. Because, you know, I have a lot of things, I'm sure we'll say, like a lot of things you want to just throw out there. It's like, you know, like people put it out there, like I met Michael Jordan, or this is my friend, or I went to this thing. And they're like trying to make you like you rubbed up next to something that makes you something. And so I just think that's important. I didn't want to miss that part, and I don't want to take away from what you're saying. You know, I want the more to stay focused. You know, so the chairman, I think, I don't know if the here had his hand. And by the way, these cards are, I didn't even know we still had some of these. Sister Seals, they'll tell me these are old cards from the past, still got my name on it. So if anyone needs one, and Brother Jordan Mill is looking up some new ones. And so we got old school, and Brother Jordan got some new ones. Yeah, this I put a stack of them by the door, and there's a sign sheet. You can take as many as you want. But turn it back, you want to talk to me, or you just have a question in general?
No, I just wanted to ask a question real quick.
All right, go ahead. Islam.
When it says, true, it said true and divine citizens. When it speaks about the citizens of who he's calling or who he came to help, what type of citizen or what class is Americans? True American citizen. What citizens is he talking about? Because to me, it's making a blatant difference of a class of citizens, right? So I know people should be educated about the class of citizenship. You know, not that I'm involved with any group. Let's get this clear because, you know, it's out there, it's a thought, right? So a sovereign citizen is an astronaut because there's a sovereignty already given. So you unless you have a government of your own, now you could be in America under law, a self-governed individual. Don't get me wrong. But I'm more on the Moorish side Temple of America. So, but I just want to know, do we understand the classes of citizens?
Very good. Islam, Sister Cecile, for the White Cyrus, and then if the branch doesn't have anything to say after that, we're gonna go to the secretary. Sister Cecile.
Thanks, Mom. I just wanted to go back really quickly to, Sister Rose Raleigh. So I do think that there's significant, so I understand exactly what the thing is saying. So not to take away from that part, but to balance it, right? So that the ultimate goal, as Brother Kennedy was talking about, was that he was your brother man come to show you the way. And that was pretty much it. And so not to get so hooked up on everything else as though you're constantly looking how to be a slave, on a better way to say it. You gotta have somebody you gotta follow behind, so to speak. Like, I need a master, so it's like, don't tie yourself in that way. Understand he was your brother man to bring you to that spiritual message. But I was looking at with the relation of the importance of Sister Pearl Durali being his wife, is that not every sister has the experience of having a prophet or a husband. And so I think that when it just comes into that family concept, I think that's an important part of how we may need to understand just uniting. I think it gives us something to fathom, right? Fathom what a husband should look like, fathom what a wife should look like, based on what we know the standards of one who is living within harmony with Allah should look like. So I think that just for that purpose, like our brother was talking about, it's just an example to get you to where we need to go. And so that was that thought. When with the concept of the sovereignty and connecting to it, we are in essence, like so in Max training subject, the sons of men thy equal have agreed to raise the sovereign power instead of ruler over themselves, right? So that concept of the will within the people in a democracy, but the ultimate fine portion of it to where we can just make laws without any checks and balances, we can do whatever, that definitely is not something that's had. But when you speak to the class of the citizen, he tells you that until you nationality and your divine creed, you're not tied in. And so I think that it also speaks to the way that our brothers and sisters are also separated as far as within those classes, if you will, of citizenship. We sometimes debate ourselves by putting to those particular names that allude to it, not necessarily knowing our connection to our lineage. So at certain points, our lineage does become important when it comes back to our rights as Moorish Americans, how we're descendants of Moroccans and born in America. I think that some of those things tie back in with relation to nationality and citizenship. And when you're talking about the different classes of citizens, I think that's why he goes to that part and partial, not thing. But my understanding, looking at the part and partial, goes right back again to what you said. So there are a lot of things that ties into being a citizen that the Prophet Noble Dwelly is saying. Some of these things that are given to you aren't necessary for the ratification of our people. So things with even in the amendment, some of those things aren't necessary if you understand who you are and who your forefathers were. And so I think that it's a very important topic. And I think this is something that if someone's interested, this may be something maybe to balance through with those who know law. Like, I'm going to talk about those who know law and communicating and telling them so to your senior people apply. I think some of that takes the studying, not just from then, but also with the new scope. Because I do know a lot of people, like for myself, retain some information from years ago on something pertaining to this topic, but haven't truly looked it up in the present, the same information with the mind and person that I've become from the last time I looked it up. Because at point in time, things open up differently to you, similar to the whole thing. Because I was brought to
Praise a lot. Peace. So just to come up with the sister really quickly, in relation to the chapter on magistrate and subject, our equals have agreed to raise, right, to sovereign power. So as Brother K. Turner had mentioned, as far as being a sovereign citizen is an oxymoron because the sovereignty lies within citizenship. So just really quickly, if we read the 10th Amendment in I'm about to say I don't know why I'm about to say but in the Bill of Rights, it says the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. And so as we engage in our politics and we elect those who, our representatives, our congressmen, and so on and so forth, this is us, in a sense, agreeing, right, thy equals to raise to sovereign power via our elections, right? Brother Wasan.
It's fine. And to the question, what is the true American citizen based on the context of the prophet saying, that is wrong. Constitution of the United States over and over. And in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 2.3, it actually describes 3 different types of citizens. One, if you listen very carefully what I'm going to read, it never says slavery or slaves, but it speaks to us between the lines because we're excluded except for it uses the word slave. If you can catch it, see if you can catch it. It's talking about non-slaves, or it means slaves are not counted as that. It says, union according to the respective numbers which shall be determined, and this is the way you determine for elections, determined by adding the whole number of free persons, right? Free, that's where the slavery part, well, free, opposite of free is slavery. Including those bound to a term of years, those are indentured servants are also included, right? Excluding Indians not taxed, and Indians are not part of that true American citizen because they're not taxed, they don't get to elect, so they're different, or you would say it's a classification. Right? This is all other persons, 3/5 of all other persons, right? Which is what this describes in slavery, it's described, right? So you had 3 classes at the beginning, which one of them was changed with the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. Prophet said there's no need for the 14th and 15th Amendment based on our situation, right? Which made us citizens. And then he describes in the divine one about the prophet of the nation that you, a true citizen, needs to, even if you have the privilege of the 13th and the 14th Amendment, you're not really a true citizen because you have to have a decent flag in your forefathers. It's like all these other countries, which he describes. They have a flag, they're American, British, American, German, American, Japanese, etc. So I think the true American citizen would not only be a legal citizen that even was came from slavery, but when the slavery part is removed and you have a decent flag, you have 2 flags, the American and a decent flag, those are the true American citizens.
It's not with the grand sheet. It's on the comments, then.
Yeah, I just want to add to the conversation. Very interesting. When I first joined the temple, you used to hear the Moors saying that the Moorish Americans had dominant nationality and superior citizenship.
Islam.
That ties into what I read earlier, where the prophet said, without a flag of our forefathers, there's no national and divine title to the government in which we live. Right? And so when you look at that, and what the other Moore said, not only that, what about European women couldn't even vote? Back in the day, you had to have land to vote. These are all different classes. What about a rich citizen versus a poor citizen? They're both citizens, but I got millions of dollars. I get it to do things in the government that you don't get to do because of my money. And then what about the citizen that becomes naturalized, but you can't be president of the United States because you wasn't born in the country? That's another class of citizen, right? I'm a citizen, but you can't run. You can run for everything up to governor, but you can't run for president. Because if you're the president, you have to be born. So there's so many different levels of that understanding. And then to bring it forward, because we have things that we're talking about, well, skip it back, more ingenious citizens. So when those first Moors, we the people, you know what I'm saying, setting up everything that's going on here, when they stepped out the scene, you got the indentured servants, like the brother said, the people that's in slavery, you got the people that was coming over that wasn't born here. You had a lot of things going on. So those are the different, when the prophet says classes of citizens, we always think all Americans are the same. And then when you get to the part about being privileged, you know what I'm saying? You're a citizen enough because you can become the president of the United States. You can become a governor of a state. You could be a mayor of a city. You could be a congressman, a senator, and still be a black man. So then what is that? What kind of citizen is that? If you're a black man, you don't have a problem in nationality. So you have a privilege that can be taken every 25 years. We got to put certain things in place. So it's like a whole nother thing for the civics class, right? Go turn it back. Islam. Islam.
Praise the Lord. If you could just make it brief.
Yeah, it's just one, and because I see the time on the phone. I just want to state one thing, when it comes to class of citizens, the names and the color code class, they still existed even back in the days, because I remember one of my family members, they was telling me about the records in the county clerk's office would have some of our ancestors marked as white. So it's real different. With that, I said, peace.
Islam to the Assistant Secretary.
Islam. Islam. More signs Temple number 34, finance received for December the 17th, 2023. Took in a public collection of $3.50. Morse remedies we received $15. Literature and supplies we received $2.50. Uplifting fund received $6.50. Local building fund received $8.50, coming out to a grand total of $47, and a total attendance in person and online of 25. Yeah.
We all heard the financial report. What's the pleasure? Sister Lee Silver.
I move this financial report, the accepted with necessary corrections if there be.
Islam, can I get a second? Second. Islam, it was moved by Sister C. Silver and it was seconded by Brother W. Kingdom Bay. Finance, we accept any necessary corrections of the any. You all heard the motion. Any on readiness? Ready for the questions?
Question.
We allow those who are in favor, show by the motion way of voting. Those who are opposed, let the secretary know that the motion is in favor.
Carried.
Praise Allah.
The chairman, they're not getting that carry though. You wanna tell them how the carry goes, brother Salami?
Praise Allah.
Don't get too carried away.
They're not saying carry. You gonna let them know how it goes?
Carry.
Carried. Praise Allah.
All rise, face the east. Put your phone down. Feet at a 90-degree angle, 5 fingers on your left hand, 2 fingers on your right. As we repeat the Moorish American prayer after Sister M. Serrano Bay.
Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, through Ali. Amen. Praise Allah. Praise Allah.
It's not, brother.
Peace and love.
Peace and light.
So Brandon, you did a great job, you know, you put on the spot, you know. And tell Brother Kid Bay the same.